Hey everybody, welcome to Module 5. I'm 2 days early because we're having a snow day. But the discussion's all in from Module 3, so I thought, what the heck? Let's go. So, what I gathered from the discussion in both classes for Module 3. Oh, wait, before I get there, I just want to remind you of this little baby. This is the Module 4 survey. Make sure that gets done because it's got everybody's blog links and I can make those public. So as soon as everybody gets in there, I'll put it up so that you can see each other's blog links, which is really nice. There was conversation, I think, in both groups about, hey, I want to see your blog. And a couple people posted theirs ahead of time, which was really nice. But now we're on to Module 5. No. So the discussion, let's see, blog links and survey. Oh, right. So the discussion was really good. It's funny because one group was really like a lot about the tools and the apps specifically, and then the other one was, just went off, sort of in a more like one was more boots on the ground, and one was more philosophical. It was fun. It was neat. It's interesting to see the two distinct personalities. All right. So the first thing that I noticed was somebody brought up a really great idea about Beanstack and the chat bot that is great in that it helps kids um, it helps kids sort of form connections with the text. But they said, does that get in the way of them interacting with their peers and talking to others about it, which I thought was interesting. As someone who yesterday basically got in a fight with I was doing a purchase and I was Ingram's chatbot was so frustrating to me. And I was like, Barbara, it's a chatbot. You can't hurt its feelings. Don't let it hurt your feelings. But it is, oh, AI. It's an interesting world. All right. Then there was a little bit of talk about teachers pay teachers versus real life collaboration. I mean, I think that both of those things can exist, but it was a really good point about how, we should really be angling for that. And I think that's a nice thing about our job, in school libraries is that a big part of our job is collaboration. And, sometimes I just come in feeling like the white knight, oh, I can help you with that. So that's something really smart to keep in the forefront of what we do. All right. Oh, memes. There are a couple of memes, more memes. Next time I teach this class, I'm going to make it a requirement because it was really fun to see them. So thank you for those of you who memed. There was a thread about the importance of typing skills, which was really interesting to me. And I have got to talk to the tech teachers at my school to see if that's something that they even work with. There were a couple of apps, Flippity and Vocaroo were two that I hadn't heard of that got a lot of love in one of the chats. And there were Beanstack was in there. I can't remember all of them. So, just some other ones that weren't in the stuff that I gave you that sounded really good. I try to stick with the free ones, and I know that there are some that have paywalls, but that individual districts use. It's always valuable to hear about them in the discussion. So thank you for bringing those in. Somebody wrote that this assignment felt endless. And I was like, wah, wah. But then they said, in a good way, because you get to play and you get to experience. All right. Apps versus tools. There were a couple of good metaphors. One that I liked was whole novel, regular standard novels versus graphic novels is all reading. Apps and tools, it's all tech. Like I thought that was good. One group didn't really talk about the Joyce Valenza article, and the other one was like Joyce was in a lot of the discussions. So that was nice. She's when I met her for the first time, I was like, "Hello, Joyce. I'm Barb. I'm your biggest fan." It was very embarrassing, but we worked together during COVID on a project, and it was really cool. All right. Student engagement and focus. Yes. Somebody brought up the point how that rewires the brain. We're going to be talking a lot about this in Module 8. And there was also some talk about the traditional dichotomy between work and play being challenged by this Harvard, I don't know if it's a book or a study. I bookmarked it though, because I think I'm going to be putting that in our Module 8. That's when we're talking about students and their relationship with technology and gaming and how we can and how we can work that to our advantage. All right, so that's the talk about the discussion. Before I get into the specifics of Module 5 for those who want to stick around as opposed to those who want to read it on their own, I already reminded you about the survey. And the other thing that I just want you to be aware of, which you've probably noticed, is the due dates for Module 5 are not till February 25th. That's because of school vacation week, which I don't have. But a lot of educators do. So I keep the school vacation week there. Excuse me, heavens. So for those of you who have some makeup work to do, great time to get that done. For those of you who are traveling, have a wonderful time. Don't worry about peeking in, but you've got a 2 week window for your discussion and for your other stuff. Okay, so just bear that in mind. It's a week where the assignment is sort of usually I give you everything that you need, but you're going to have to go further afield on your own this time. So, not that I've been like the exploration has been working you towards this point, but you're going to be detectives this week. All right. So what we're going to start talking about is the adaptive and assistive investigation. And what this means is choose a district. Obviously, if you're teaching, your district is going to be the easiest one because you already know the players. But if you are not teaching, the local district where you live is your, you are taking time from people's day, but it's also important to be able to navigate this sort of thing. And it's probably important to your district to know how navigable their special education focus is. So you're not harming, you're not taking advantage. It's really to find out what your district does about adaptive and assistive technology. And I will just tell you, spoiler, if you live in Arlington, your adaptive and assistive person is amazing. Please give her my love if you get to talk to her. She's always been so willing to talk about this. And I should just have her come in as a guest speaker, but I want you to be doing your own investigation. Anyway, so you're going to find out who's in charge of adaptive and assistive technology for your district, your building, if you want, if you can narrow it that granularly. If you can talk to them, that's great. But really, what we're looking at is how accessible it is to find out who that like. How easy is it to identify that person? If you identify the person like this, and then you can talk to them, that's great. But I would say 50% of the people who do this assignment find that just getting to that point is it can be difficult. And some have found out that they are considered the adaptive and assistive person. So if that's the case, all right. Um, so let's see. It says if you're not working in a district, you can call as a resident of your town. Yeah, if not, just talk about how easy it was and just write it up. It's not huge. What was the process like? What did you learn? 3 paragraphs is fine. You can also, I don't know if I would if you are working in the district because you might not want, especially if the information is negative, you can put it in your blog if you want. Certainly discuss it in the discussion to the level at which you're comfortable if you want. All right, then we just got a lot of stuff to look at. So this is a continuum for the Boston Public Schools, and I don't know how old it is. So when you get to it goes from low to high tech. So when you get to the high tech stuff, I don't even know if these things exist anymore. But what's really interesting and the part that I like about this is the low tech stuff. Things like a koosh ball, like pencil grips, like raised line paper, whiteboards. So they're talking about simple things that pretty much everybody has that are used for low to high tech tools. Then we've got universal design for learning, which you may or may know is the process of using things that we have for special ed to elevate everybody. So this is from CAST, which is the Center for Assisted Special Technology, I think, but they do a ton about UDL, and they kind of invented it. So it's just, feel free to look around their website. Then we've got some articles. We've got Hopkins. These are from the early 21st century. These are 2004 and 2006, I think. If you don't know anything about accessibility, this is a really good sort of baseline, like library specific baseline of what, we can do to help with this. And then that's Hopkins. And then we've got her 10 things to know about assistive technology, which I just like the way that this is put together. She's got you know how I love a list of 10 things. So it's just still pretty still pretty important to what we're learning. Okay, I can see my face lagging. I hope this video goes through. Then we've got Project Enable. Oh, I love it so much. It's a 20-hour program. Do not do the whole thing because it will take you 20 hours, but it's really cool. It's not school library specific. It's from Syracuse University, and it's all about expanding non-discriminatory access by librarians everywhere. It's a bunch of different sections that focus on different things, mostly public library specific, but really useful. A lot of things that you can use in school libraries. I urge you to take a look. Then we've got Quiet Quality Indicators of Assistive Technology, and this is a group that is for people who are, you know, far more into it. If you learn that you are the adaptive and assistive person for your district, you're going to want to look here because that's a lot of sort of in-depth information. Then we've got, this is super handy if you're working in a library. If you're not, you know, this is something for another day. But if you currently are, this is a really good checklist to go through, and it will take you, you know, maybe a half an hour. And it just lets you look at your library with an eye towards universal design. And, you know, are you helping or hindering with that? Not you personally. This isn't on you. And then finally, we've got Rebecca Wilhunt. It's from School Library Journal. I got to have something from SLJ every week. But this is just ways to make your library more welcoming to children with special needs. It's yeah, it's another one, 2006. Can you tell that I started looking at, can you tell what inspired me to start looking at adaptive and assistive technology? 2004, 2006 was a good year for this. But again, it's still relevant. And I tell you, I teach a PD about adaptive and well about really providing school library resources for kids who have disabilities, and I have students do bibliographies, and it's really like there's not a ton still coming out about you know providing those sort of services specific to school libraries. So um, you know we're still it's a really important thing to keep at the forefront of your practice. Accessibility is not just for certain kids, it's for all our kids. All right. Gosh, I've gone on and on for a long time. Have I finished everything? I guess so. All right. So, you got your articles, you got the websites, you've got the investigation of the adaptive and assistive. So you're going to talk about it in the board, and you're going to talk about it in your blog, and I will see you on the discussion boards. Heck, I'll see you in your blogs too. All right. Have a great vacation. And oh, I've stopped sharing. Look how large I've become. All right. Have a great week.